It is a pleasure to be here today with everybody. It's a real honor to be at the Rural Water Conference.
My name is Maria Honeycutt, and I am with Broad River Water Authority. I'm the general manager there, and we're in Rutherford County. I have had the opportunity to serve as one of the 9 members of the State Water Infrastructure Authority, or SWIA as we call it, since its inception in 2013. In 2013, when I put my name in the hat to serve on the State Water Infrastructure Authority, I had a conversation with my House representative just to try to understand what I was signing up for. His comment to me was that the state or the legislature was tired of bailing out failing water and wastewater systems. And in his mind, SWIA was created to manage the grant and loan funding and also to figure out how to put a price tag on the state's infrastructure needs to address those needs and to turn it around. But the challenge, as you know, has been getting our boards and our elected officials to allocate the money. But what we from SWIA wanted to challenge systems, and part of this master plan is to really find the right projects and do them at the right time and fund it in the right way. So I want to encourage you to soak in all the information that you're going to hear from Kim and Francine today, and think about how it can benefit your system as you go through today.
And the authority spent a lot of time talking about, well, what do we want to be in this master plan? You know, it's not a regulation, it's not a requirement, but what it does is lay out the authority's thoughts about how they're going to fund projects going forward in the future, and also what's the real future of water and wastewater infrastructure in the state.
Your work with the rural water systems across North Carolina really fits in well with our program. Our funding programs fund utilities across the state, both large and small. The master plan, though, really wasn't the first thing that we were thinking about when all of this was first created. Really, a lot of our first tasks were to synchronize those funding programs. They came from several different agencies and departments across the state, so they were all operating in different manners.
Rural Water is a great event. Each year I look forward to coming.
I'm here to learn the latest of what's going on in the industry, and I was really interested in this meeting about the master plan and seeing getting the latest information on that and on funding opportunities for our clients.
The first thing that we wanted to do was to synchronize those programs, make it where you could file one application for all our different programs. So if you had a water line project that you wanted to do, you could apply for all our programs at once, and the authority, as they were going through making their decisions, could offer you the best available funding possible without you having to be denied in one place and reapply in another and hope you got funding 3 or 4 months later.
And I'm a water manager of the small town of Palmolive, size of about 300 people. And it is very, most of the time we have to be very innovative just to even get by.
For a lot of our smaller utilities, they really struggle to make ends meet. Is there a better way for them to operate? Is merging with another utility, whether it's an all-out merger, whether it's shared services, whether it's partial privatization of some services like billing and that sort of thing, is there a better way for them to operate and operate more efficiently?
Well, many of the clients that we serve are smaller towns and communities, and as was mentioned here today, they're under a lot of stress, and many of them carry a fairly heavy debt load, and yet their needs are great. You know, they have a lot of water and sewer that needs upgraded, and so learning about funding opportunities and about learning how to what the latest is on that is, I think, could be really helpful for them.
There is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a fact of getting the paperwork in and trying to fix things so we can get funded on several problems that we are having with our water system.
Some utilities really can't take on any debt, and this is because either their financial situations already aren't good, and this is something that actually is looked at by a group called the Local Government Commission. And so they actually go in and they look at a utility's financials and they look at how the utility's being run. And if it's not really being run as a business enterprise and covering its costs and bringing in the revenue that it needs to bring in, the Local Government Commission actually will not allow the utility to take on debt.
I've been with Beaufort County for 4 years now, so I'm still learning the system, and being able to speak with other managers and other operators, talking about issues that they've had and the way that they've worked to resolve those issues helps us tremendously.
It's good being here because it gives you a great mental concept on a lot of issues that you know that can be completed, and give me the right frame of mind to go ahead on and do certain things to get our water system in a better shape.
Oftentimes, you know, small local governments, we feel like our needs and concerns aren't met on the state level, but with the legislature making the emphasis on looking at the infrastructure plan and taking an assessment of our needs and then determining the best way to meet those needs. From a local government standpoint, we were very happy to see that take place.
A lot of the challenge is just aging infrastructure. Water mains that have been in the ground for 50 years. Down east where I work, there's high groundwater there, and so you get a lot of extraneous flow in your sewer system, and that presents a really big challenge because now you're treating water that you don't get any revenue for, and you're overwhelming your treatment systems. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges is old gravity sewer systems that are just leaky and picking up all of this water, and now the system has to treat it, and it's a big problem.
And what they really want to fund is projects that target a specific issue, that provide a permanent solution, not a Band-Aid, and that are directly linked to helping a utility move toward viability.
Information about the Water Infrastructure Authority, the funds, how the program is administered, it helps the systems as we're constantly looking and evaluating what our needs are.
Really, the vision is that the state's role is to foster the long-term viability of utilities, and a really important part of this is funding solutions and resolving these with a permanent fix.
No matter what you're going through, no matter what the challenge, you know that there are people right here that are facing it and working through it. And so I think it's invaluable to be able to get together and share ideas and see what other people have done to solve those problems.
And to understand that you're not alone with the problems and things that you're going through, that other people have the same issues and they've been able to overcome them.
It's really great to have an organization like Rural Water.